welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm taking you through the entire 2026 AFL season, all 24 rounds plus the full finals series, all the way to my prediction for the 2026 Grand Final winner. It's a massive breaker, so settle in and see how your team stacks up across the season. I'm also running a footy tipping this year, so if you are keen to join in and tip along with me each week, check out the link in the description. Everyone's welcome. If you enjoy AFL content like this, make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can also buy me a coffee using the link below. It really helps me create more fun footy videos. Right then, let's kick things off with opening round. Opening round starting on the 5th of March, Thursday, 2026. The first game, City Swans versus Carlton. They're playing for the Curnow and the Will Haywood and Florent Cup. Is that the SCG? I'm going to tip the Swans to beat the Blues. Curnow to start with 5 goals. Gold Coast against Geelong. Gold Coast at home. Geelong usually has a slow start, then peaks during the middle to the end of the season. Say the Suns at home. Oh, the Giants against Hawthorn. Will Day's injured. Tom Green's done his ACL. Hard one. I'll say Giants just. And also the want revenge because the Hawks knocked out the Giants in finals last year in 2025. Lions and the Doggies. Say Brisbane Lions. They've won back-to-back. They'll be unwilling or showing a flag ceremony for 2025 flag that the Lions won. Say the Lions. Homewood against St Kilda Marble F1 day. Interesting. St Kilda's got so many recruits. Flanders, Ikoning, Sauce. Collingwood lost Wycheck and a couple of other experienced players from last year's roster. I say St Kilda beat Maggies for opening round. Okay, let's go to round 1. Carlton versus Richmond on the Thursday night. I say the Blues against the Young Tigers. Essendon against Hawthorn. Merritt representing Essendon. Unfortunately for his situation, he wasn't able to be traded to the Hawks. Say Hawthorn to beat the Bombers. The Doggies against the Giants. I reckon the Doggies midfield will be too strong. No Tom Green. You got Oliver, but the Bulls got Libba, the Bond in the midfield. Say Doggies. Geelong, they hardly ever lose at home. Say Geelong. Sydney and Brisbane Lions. I reckon Sydney got a great midfield, adding Curnow, Fit, McDonald and Amadi. Say Sydney. Collingwood against the Crows. Isaac Rankin is still suspended for the Crows. And the Crows got enough injuries. Dan Curtin. Say Collingwood should. And it's at home at the MCG on the Saturday night. North against the Power. This game was so hard to predict. Port Adelaide, new coach. Josh Carr's a new coach now. Ken Hintley, no longer at the club. New direction for the Powers will be different systems. This is hard to predict. I'll just say North Melbourne because it's at home at Marvel. Melbourne against St Kilda. Melbourne rebuilding, or not rebuilding. New midfield. Low Petrarca, no Oliver. St Kilda got Naz. Philippu's doing well in pre-season. Add Flanders in midfield mix. Wing Hager. Say St Kilda. Gold Coast against West Coast. West Coast came last in 2025. Expect Gold Coast to beat them. So after round 1, include opening round, you got Suns, North Melbourne, Saints, Sydney in the top 4. Crows 5th. That doesn't make sense when they've lost one game. I must have been from alphabet order. It's early days, that's in round 1. Alright, let's go to round 2. Hawthorn against the Swannies. Says in Victoria. It's in Victoria. I'm not sure where, MCG or Marble. Say Hawthorn on the Thursday. Friday night, Crows against Doggies. Isaac Rankin will be back for the Crows from his suspension. It's at Adelaide Oval. The Crows will be disappointed from their straight sets lost in the finals last year. So the Crows. Gold Coast, against Richmond. This will be a tough game. Because in New South Wales, so Giants, Freo should beat Melbourne. Or this is 50-50. Say the Power. Or West Coast and North. I'll just say West Coast because that Optus Stadium. Alright, that concludes round 2. Round 3. Geelong against the Crows. Geelong don't really lose much games at home in Geelong. Say Geelong. Collingwood against the Giants. Ooh. This is hard. 50-50. Go for the home side. Saints against the Lions. Say the Lions. Fremantle should beat Brisbane at home. The Bombers against the North. I'll say Essendon just. The Power West Coast. Power. Blues in Melbourne. Midfield count is not too bad. If you can add midfield rotation of Will Hayward. And you've got like Jagger Smith, the former number 3 draft pick from 2 years ago, is likely to debut this season. And you got Sam Walsh, P. Cripps. Carlton should win that game. Okay, round 4. Brisbane against Collingwood. Say Brisbane. And this is Good Friday. Carlton should beat North. Ooh, Adelaide Oval. Crows and Freo. Say LA just was that Adelaide Oval. Richmond the Power. I like the young Tigers. City should beat West Coast. Gold Coast should beat the D's. The Bombers. I'm going to tip the Doggies. Easter Monday Classic. Geelong to beat the Hawks. Next round. Gather round in South Australia, Adelaide. All games are in SA Adelaide. Adelaide Oval. Norwood Oval. And not Mount Barker. In Barossa. Crows should beat Callan, I reckon, on the Thursday night. This is a good game. Freo, I reckon. North against the Lions. Lions should. This is... They played last year, Essendon and Melbourne. I went to that game last year. Essendon versus Melbourne, get around Adelaide. This one's going to be close. I want to say Bombers. Swans and Gold Coast. Both teams who I reckon should be in the top 4 this year. Say Gold Coast. Hawthorn Doggies. Hawthorn. Geelong should beat West Coast. The Giants should beat the Tigers. Power and Saints. It's hard to predict with Port Adelaide's new structure, new coach. Power. Home side. Just. Okay, the next round. Carlton versus Collingwood. Say Collingwood. Geelong Doggies. Swans should beat the Giants in the Battle of the Bridge. Gold Coast Suns should beat Essendon. Hawthorn should beat the Power. Get a close game. I say Adelaide, just. Say North Melbourne. The Lions against the D's. Western Derby. Freo should beat Eagles. Now the next round. That's an interesting game. I say Doggies. Melbourne. Hawthorn and Suns. Say Hawthorn at home. Collingwood to beat the Bombers. Geelong to beat the Power. Freo to beat the Blues. Saints should beat West Coast. The Lions should beat the Crows at home. The Giants should beat North Melbourne at home. Alright, let's go to the following round. So, before I do proceed to the next round, each team has played 7 games, and the Lions, 6 wins and 1 loss. Geelong, 6-1. The Suns, 6-1. And Fremantle, 5 wins and 2 losses. They round out the top 4, and teams from 5th to 8 are Hawthorn, Crows, Collingwood, and Giants. Okay, now let's start the following round. Collingwood, Hawthorn. Hawthorn. Doggies against Freo. Freo beat the Doggies in finals last year. Say the Doggies will be smirting from that loss in last year's elimination final. Crows against the Power in the showdown. The Lions should beat Essendon. This will be a close one. Say West Coast just. Geelong should beat North. Say Saints over the Blues. Swans should beat a new Melbourne midfield. The Suns should beat the Giants at home. Alright, let's go to the next round. Freo against Hawks. Optus Stadium. Freo's got a good side. Say Freo. Brisbane should beat Carlton. Say the Doggies will beat the Power. The Swans will beat the Kangaroos. The Giants will beat the Bombers. Gold Coast Suns with Petrarca, new recruit, against St Kilda. And will be Sam Flanders' first game against his old side. Geelong should beat Collingwood. Say the D's at home to beat the Eagles. The Crows should beat Richmond away. Okay, now the next round. The Lions and Geelong. Geelong are a good side. Say home side Lions at together. Sydney should beat Collingwood. I've tipped Suns to beat the Power. Crows should beat North at home. Hawthorn should beat Melbourne at the G. This has been an interesting game. Be at Marvel. flip a coin. Say doggies. Sam Darcy, who I reckon will be top 3 in this year's Coleman medal. Essendon Freo. On Sunday lunchtime. Say Freo. Saints to beat Richmond. The Giants should win away against West Coast Eagles. Each team has played 10 games. You got the Lions and the Suns, 9 wins and 1 losses. Geelong in third with 8 wins and 2 losses. The Crows, 4th spot, 7 wins and 3 losses. And then from 5th to 8th, got Freo, Hawks, Sydney, and Giants. That sounds familiar. I reckon they were all the teams that made the finals last year. See what we get after round 23. Okay, let's go to the next round. Thursday, 21st of May, I should say. I'll say, yeah, Hawks should beat the Crows. Richmond, Essendon, that's going to be a close one. Say the Bombers. Freo to beat Saints. Suns should beat North. Good game. Geelong should beat Swans at home. Collingwood should definitely beat West Coast Eagles. How and Cowan. Corey Durnan gets his old team for the power. Say Port Adelaide beat Carlton. Giants and Lions. Giants have a good record against Lions. I like the Lions team. Say Lions. And Doggies should beat Melbourne. Okay, let's go to the next round. St Kilda and Hawks. Say the Hawks. Geelong should beat Carlton. Sydney to beat the Tigers. Brisbane to beat Freo at the Gabba. Collingwood and Doggies. Saturday night. That's at Marvel. Doggies are great at Marvel. Giants. Oliver against his old side. Say Giants to beat the D's. West Coast Essendon. I'm going to tip Essendon at Optus. Okay. After those games, we've got Brisbane and Gold Coast. Top 2. Brisbane 11 wins, 1 loss. Wow, they're on track for a 3-peat. Gold Coast 10-1. Imagine that. The 2 Queensland sides in the top 2. Then Geelong 10 wins and 2 in third, followed by the Hawks 9 wins and 3 losses. That's the top 4. And then from 5th to 8, we've got Adelaide Crows, Freo, Sydney, Doggies, and the 2 wildcard position, or basically 7th to 10th are the wildcard position. You got Giants in 9th and Collingwood. So that rounds out the top 10 for the wildcard rounds. Adelaide versus Geelong. I don't know when was the last time Adelaide beat Geelong. I'm going to tip Geelong to beat the Crows. Hawks to beat the Doggies. Freo should beat North. Or Q Clash. It's at Gold Coast home. Say Suns. West Coast Power. Oh gosh. We'll have a better idea after 6 weeks, but at this stage, before a ball has been bounced or kicked, before the start of season 2020, it's hard to predict. Say West Coast. Oh, Sydney and Saints, this could be a great game. Say Swannies. Essendon and Cowan, the Blues. And King's birthday, Collingwood and Melbourne. Melbourne's got a rebuilding or new midfield. No Petraka and Oliver. Ain't gonna help youngish player like your Cozzy Pickett in the midfield and Harvey Langford and co. Collingwood, I'll tip. Okay, that concludes that round. Now the following round, the Doggies a bit the Crows on the Thursday night. Geelong, Gold Coast. I'll be in Geelong, definitely Geelong, I reckon. Melbourne, Essendon, say Essendon. North and West Coast, definitely North, I reckon. Port and Swannies, say Sydney. Kono's, I reckon, is going to be a great recruit for the Sydney Swans this season. Richmond and Lions, yeah, Lions. Saints and Giants, St Kilda, I reckon that Marvel. Yep. Number of teams have played 14 and 13 games respectively. And basically rounding out the top 4 with the Lions and the Cats, both 12 wins and 2 losses respectively. The Suns, 11 and 2. Hawks in 4th spot, 10 and 3. Freo, 9 and 4. The Swannies, 10 and 4. This is odd. Oh, they must include the bye. That's a bit odd. Fremantle. Sydney should be above Fremantle. And the Doggies in 7th, plus the Crows in 8th. The Giants 9th and Collingwood 10th. So they're the teams in the top 10 for the wildcard. Alright, let's look at this week's game. Freo against Geelong at Optus. Yep, say Freo. Gold Coast against Hawks. Yep, Gold Coast. Crows should beat the D's. Ooh, that's a good game. Say Giants here with the Blues. Collingwood should beat the Power. Richmond and North. Say North. Saints and Doggies both play at Marvel. Oh, say St Kilda. Let's go to the next round. Freo and the Suns. I'm going to tip Freo. Callan should beat West Coast. The Lions against Sydney. Yeah, Lions. Showdown. Say Crows. I gave the Crows one. Normally it's one each. Save the Power. I'll swap that. Power. North and Essendon. That's a good game. Say Essendon. Hawks and Giants. Hawks. Collingwood should beat Richmond. Let's go to the next round. City and Doggies. Swannies. Essendon and Saints. Say Saints. Geelong and Lions in Geelong. Geelong. Gold Coast Collingwood. Gold Coast. Giants against Freo. Upset Freo. Hawks and the D's. Hawthorn. Richmond versus Carlton. Say Carlton. Power North. Say Power. Crows against West Coast and Optus. Say the Crows. Based on this, each team has played 16. And you got top 2. Oh, look at that. 3 teams on 13 wins and 3 losses. Brisbane, Geelong and Gold Coast Suns. Freo round out 4th. 12 and 4, but Hawthorn 5th has the same win-loss. 12 wins and 4 losses. 6th, the Swans, 11 wins and 5 losses. Then 7th and 8th, you've got the Crows and the Doggies, both 9 wins and 7 losses respectively. 9th spot, we've got the Maggies, 8 and 8, plus the Giants, 8 and 8, and Saints, 8 and 8. So that's the top 10 plus St Kilda's in the mix. At this stage, only one team out of, Saints, Gold Coast and Collingwood may miss out. And Doggies and Crows. Alright, let's go to the next round. The Lions should beat the Bombers. Cow and Hawks, say Hawks. Collingwood should beat North. Geelong against Giants. Ooh, I'm going to say Geelong. Melbourne, Richmond, play Richmond. Saints and Power, Saints. The Doggies should beat the Eagles. Crows and Suns, that's going to be a good game. Adelaide Oval. By July, the Crows will get some players back from injury. Curtin, Keane may be back as well, potentially. So the Crows. Freo. I say Freo against the Swans at home. Okay, let's go to the next round. So each team has played 17 games so far. Geelong against Saints. Yep, Geelong I will tip. Collingwood and Carlton. Ooh, I'm going to say upset. Carlton. Essendon Giants. I'll say Giants. Gold Coast against Doggies. Gold Coast. North and the D's. I'll say North. Hawthorn to beat Richmond. The Swannies to beat the Crows at the SCG. Freo to win at the Power. The Lions to beat the Eagles. Now each team has played 18 games. So that's around 19. Gold Coast to beat the Blues. Battle the Bridge. Say the Giants at home. Hawthorn to beat the Essendon. Saints to beat the Kangas. The Lions to beat the Power. Geelong to beat the D's. The Doggies should beat Richmond. Ooh, I say Crows just. And the Western Derby. Freo should beat West Coast. Each team has played 19 games. There should be around 20 approaching. The Lions should beat Carlton. Geelong, I reckon, against Collingwood. Essendon Adelaide. They Crows. Gold Coast, D's. Hawks beat the Kangaroos. That's interesting then. Say Richmond or West Coast. Ooh, that's a good game. Say St Kilda against the Swans. Say Giants over Power. Freo against the Doggies at home. Okay, let's get to the next round. Each team's played 20 games, so this should be round 21 coming up. Saints and Cow, say Saints. Lions and Hawks, that's a great game. Lions up together. Geelong should beat the Bombers. Ooh, Giants and Suns, say Suns. Melbourne versus Freo. Freo. Sydney should beat the Power. The Doggies against Kangas, say Western Bulldogs. The Crows should beat Richmond at home. Say Collingwood to beat West Coast at Optus Stadium. Okay, next round. Giants to beat the Eagles. Hawks to beat Collingwood. Geelong to beat the Kangas. Saints to beat Richmond. Doggies should beat Carlton. Sydney to beat the Swannies. Say Power over the young Melbourne midfield. Freo to beat the Crows in Optus Stadium. Q Clash Derby. Say the Lions to beat Gold Coast Suns at the Cabot. Wow, there's only one round left. And we've got 2 teams with 19 wins and 3 losses. The 2 grand finalists from season 2025. Freo in 3rd with 18 wins and 4 losses. Then we've got 2 teams, 4th and 5th respectively. Gold Coast Suns and Hawthorn on 17 wins and 5 losses. The Swannies with 14 wins and 8. Then in 7th, the Crows, 13 wins and 9 losses. Also St Kilda plus the Western Bulldogs, all on 13 wins and 9 losses. And in the last wildcard spot, you got the Giants, 12 and 10, and then Collingwood 11, 10 and 12. And wow, look at this ladder. I got in the bottom 4, Melbourne last, West Coast second last, Richmond 3rd bottom, North Melbourne 4th bottom. Interesting if the D's were bottom. Let's look at the last round. The Lions, I reckon, over Collingwood. say Fremantle over Cow, because Cowan can't make finals, 7 wins and 15 losses. Fremantle's got top 4 to play for. Freo. Essendon Power, say Essendon. Geelong should beat Richmond. The Doggies against the D's. St Kilda. Say St Kilda, Gold Coast Suns. The Swannies over North. Say the Crows against the Giants. And Hawthorn beat West Coast. Okay, this is the final ladder. The top 2, because we don't know the percentage, will be Brisbane and Geelong, 20 wins and 3 losses respectively. Third spot is Freo, 19 and 4. Fourth spot, we got Hawthorn, 18 wins and 5 losses. That's the top 4. Then in fifth spot, we got Gold Coast at 17 wins and 6 losses. Sixth spot, Curnow playing for the Swans. The Swans is 15 and 8 losses. And in seventh spot, the Crows, 7th, 8th and 9th, we've got 3 teams all on 14 wins and 9 losses respectively. Plus 10th spot and the final spot for the wild card is GWS Giants. That rounds out the top 10 and Collingwood miss out. Melbourne finishes last. West Coast second bottom, and Richmond were both on 3 wins and 20 losses respectively. Fourth bottom is the Kangas, and 5th, 6th and 7th bottom respectively, the Power, the Blues, and Essendon. Okay, therefore we'll do the final predictor as well. And here we go. These are the teams that will be playing in week 1 of the wild card between 7th and 10th. And just assume that the Crows are 7th, Saints 8th, Doggies 9th, Giants 10th. We've got the Crows versus the Giants and St Kilda versus the Doggies at Marble in wildcard round. Week 1 of wildcard, first ever, 7th versus 10th. The LA Crows versus the Giants. I'm going to tip the Crows to beat the Giants. And the second wildcard game is between St Kilda and the Doggies, 8th versus 9th. I'm going to tip the Western Bulldogs. So week 1 of wildcard will be the winners are the Crows and the Western Bulldogs. The second week of finals, you got the elimination and the top 4 half, but we'll look at the elimination of the bottom half of the ladder. You got 5th spot, Gold Coast Suns versus 9th team that won in the wildcard, the Western Bulldogs. So Gold Coast versus Doggies, and you got the Sydney Swans 6th versus the 7th team LA Crows. For the Gold Coast Suns versus the Western Bulldogs game in the elimination final, I'm going to tip Gold Coast to beat the Doggies. And in the second elimination final, we got Sydney Swans beating the LA Crows. And in the qualifying final, we got 1st versus 4th and 2nd versus 3rd. To the first game of the qualifying final, Brisbane Lions versus Hawks. Say the Brisbane Lions win that game. And then in the second game between Geelong and Freo, I say Geelong to beat Fremantle in the second qualifying final. Therefore, Brisbane Lions and Geelong Cats go straight to the home preliminary, and the losers, Fremantle and Hawthorn, will play against the winner of Gold Coast Suns and Sydney who beat Adelaide in the elimination final. Now we go to the third week of finals, which is called the semi-final, and we've got 3rd versus 6th, so therefore that is Fremantle versus Sydney Swans and Hawthorn versus Gold Coast Suns. I'm going to say Fremantle at home to beat the Swannies, and the second semi-final, I'm going to have Hawthorn to beat Gold Coast Suns. The 2 games in the preliminary final is 1st versus 3rd, that's the Lions against Freo, and the second preliminary final, good one, 2nd versus 4th, that's Geelong versus Hawks. Okay, let's look at the first game, the Lions against Freo at the Gabba. The Lions won back-to-back, they've got so many preliminary finals experience. I'm going to say the Lions are going to make the 3rd grand final in a row, and the classic, 2nd versus 4th, Geelong versus Hawthorn. I'm going to say an upset, Hawthorn to beat Geelong. Therefore, the 2026 AFL Grand Final is between Brisbane Lions versus Hawthorn. Just look at the size. Hawthorn, they're a good team, but their midfield, I love the Lions of midfield. Bailey, you can even rotate players like Rayner. You got the 2 Ashcroft brothers. What more can I say about the Brisbane Lions midfield? And Up 4, we got Oscar Allen, the new recruit from West Coast, and you got the former Essendon ruckman Draper. I love Brisbane Lions roster. And I'm going to tip Brisbane Lions, the top side, to beat Hawthorn in the 2026 AFL Grand Final, and therefore the Brisbane Lions will win a three-peat back to back. So that's 3 premierships in a row. What a team, what a club, the Brisbane Lions. And yeah, I've got them. I'm predicting the Brisbane Lions to win the 2026 AFL Grand Final. And that wraps up my full run through of all 24 rounds of the 2026 AFL season, the final series, and my prediction for the Grand Final winner, the Lions. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown and that it got you thinking about how your own tips and predictions stack up. If you are interested in joining my footy tipping, the link is in the description. It's open to everyone, so jump in and tip along with me throughout the season. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more AFL content, predictions, and season coverage. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can also buy me a coffee using the link below. It generally helps me keep creating fun videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.